So you're thinking of moving to Surprise, Arizona. Well, in this video, I'm going to go over the pros and cons of residing or moving to Surprise. By the end of this video, you'll be able to decide if Surprise is a place that you want to move to, invest in, and make a part of your life. And if you wait until the end, you will see that Surprise has quite a bit to offer. I get questions, calls, texts, and emails every day from people just like you that have questions about Surprise, Arizona, and some of the surrounding Phoenix cities. If you're thinking about moving to Surprise in the next 9 years, 9 months, 9 weeks, or even 9 days, reach out to me. I definitely love to help your relocation be as smooth as possible. By the way, my name is Yolanda Street. I'm part of the Relocation to Arizona team. If you have questions about any of the surrounding cities, please reach out to me. Be sure to subscribe below and hit the bell. That way you'll never miss out on a video. Now let's get started. So living in Surprise, you have abundant sunshine and very mild winters. You have over 300 days of warm weather, so you can get outside, ride bikes, hike, explore, do whatever you want to do and not worry about any of the colder weather. Surprise averages about 100 days more than the national average of about 200 days of warm weather. So if you're here in Surprise, you're definitely going to enjoy the warmer weather. Our temperatures range anywhere from the hundreds all the way down to the 40s, but that's still better than a lot of the harsher winters that you see in a whole lot of other cities. So being here in Surprise, you do have that great sunshine, the mild winters, and it lets you enjoy everything that you want to enjoy. Number 2, affordable and spacious living. Compared to some of the other cities here in the Arizona area, if you buy a home at Surprise, you may get larger lots, more affordable housing. Housing here can range anywhere from the 300s all the way up to over $1 million, but you're gonna get probably bigger homes sometimes for the price of your money than what you would see in some of the other surrounding cities. By having a larger lot, you have room for the RV gates. You can have an RV boat. Some of the homes have RV garages that if you want to have a shop, or if you want to be able to park your RV inside the garage, or whatever you want to do with your RV garage, you may be able to find the RV garages here in Surprise, Arizona. It gives you ample space for multiple vehicles, plenty of driveway space if you want to park your vehicles all in the driveway or all in the garage. And then it still gives you room for all the extracurricular toys that you may have at your home. Surprise also caters to those who value outdoor space for outdoor activities. So if you're looking for a bigger lot, a bigger home at a little bit better price point, Surprise may be one of the cities that you want to look into. Surprise has a low crime rate. According to the FBI UCR program, the crime rate in Surprise is pretty low. It offers a variety of parks and recreational facilities where you feel like you can go and take your family, be safe, enjoy being outside, and don't have to worry about a whole lot of crime. The Dysart School District does offer numerous schools, private, public, and charter schools that offer a wide range of different types of education, whether it be AP classes, STEM courses, different technical programs, or anything like that that you may want to allow your child to take a part of. Parents in Surprise are pretty happy with the education that their kids are getting here in Surprise. So again, the Dysart School District is a great school according to niche that your child could be in to get their education while you're living here in Surprise. Number 4, recreational activities. The city of Surprise has a wide variety of recreational activities. Down in the Surprise Stadium area, they offer multiple things all in one area. You have the regional library. You have a lake that's stocked with fish. Again, you need to have, if you're 12 and older, you need to have a fishing license, but you can definitely fish out there. It's packed with multiple different kinds of fish to allow you to fish out there. It has a huge play structure for bigger and smaller kids, picnic areas, barbecue pits, dog parks out there, playgrounds, sports courts, volleyball, basketball, baseball, soccer, all those courts are out there in that one area. In that same area, you have the Surprise Aquatic Center, where it has places for you to have a picnic out there. It has a lap pool out there, so definitely something that you and your family can enjoy during the summer. In that same exact area, that is home to the Texas Rangers and the Kansas City Royals for spring training. So you can go out there and check out a spring training game. You can see them going back and forth to practice. I know their living community is on one side of the street and their practice facility is on the other. So if you're down in that area, a lot of times you may see some of the players going back and forth from their residential area to their practice fields. Check out some games out there. I know they also allow like some of the kid activities, kid sports to be held out there on those playing fields. So in the kids' eyes, that's a wonderful place to be able to have a game. They feel like they're like one of the big boys being able to have a game out there. Again, the regional library, if you want to go in there for some quiet time or education time or reading, that's definitely something you can do out there. And again, there's hiking trails and biking trails. So just a whole lot you can do right there in that area. Another thing that's offered near Surprise is the White Tank Mountains. If you like hiking and you want to go to the White Tank Mountains, that's definitely within, I guess, about 5 to 6 miles of the Surprise Stadium. And depending on where you purchase a home at in Surprise, the White Tank Mountains are even closer. You have beautiful views surrounding some of the neighborhoods of the White Tanks. Look outside and you see the beautiful mountains. So again, some of these neighborhoods, or most of these neighborhoods, are a great place to live because you're looking right at the White Tank Mountains. Out at the White Tank Mountains, they do offer like a restaurant to hang out there. So you can go out to the White Tanks, you can hike, and then you can go in and have some lunch or something at the restaurant. And I've been out there, the restaurant is pretty good, so it's definitely something to do while you're out there. They also just opened a brand new water park out in Surprise. It's called Rescue Oasis. Soak Stadium 309. It does have sports courts out there, volleyball, basketball, baseball. It has a big fire truck structure that the kids can climb on and play on. Soak City, so there's different stuff out there. It has the park area, then on the inside it does have the pool area with slides. That just opened, so again, that's another activity that you can do while you're living in Surprise. I do know that if you're a resident of Surprise, you do get a discount going into that facility. Along with that pool, there's other community pools. A lot of the neighborhoods and communities have community pools, and then a lot of the homes that you can purchase in the Surprise area do have private pools also. Surprise offers accessible health care. So I know out there has the Banner hospitals are out there. There's multiple hospitals out there in the Surprise area that you can go to. It has a VA clinic, so if you're military and you need to use a VA hospital or a VA doctor, there is one offered out there in Surprise. It gives you a wide variety of medical care there in the city of Surprise without having to drive to one of the nearby cities. But if you chose to drive to one of the nearby cities, Surprise is not so far out to where you can't, commute to some of the other cities. I know Surprise is really close to some of the connecting freeways, whether it's the 101, the 303, the I-10, whatever the case may be. There are ways to get to other surrounding cities while living in the Surprise area and not feeling like you have to go very far. And the last pro that I have for Surprise, Arizona is going to be retirement. Surprise is retirement friendly and family friendly. So there's areas in Surprise that Surprise has become a destination for retirees. They have age-restricted communities that you can go to, and they have like Sun City Grand is out there in the Surprise area, and then right outside of that area, there's multiple other age-restricted communities that you can go to that offer, the golf courses, the restaurants, group activities, clubs, all that stuff there in their own community. So if you're wanting to retire in an area that has all this beautiful warm weather, with people around your age maybe wanting to get to know somebody, Surprise offers a big variety of 55 and older communities, while at the same time offering areas for families and single people. It's just a big area for different areas in Surprise, whether you're single, have family, older, or whatever the case may be. Surprise has become one of the greater cities to hang out in and be able to adapt to. Surprise has a whole lot of convenient amenities for people who live in the community. It has shopping centers, it has marketplaces, it has nighttime farmer markets, it has daytime farmer markets, a variety of retail stores, a variety of restaurants, and different types of entertainment options that you can do while you're in Surprise. Overall, Surprise, Arizona combines great climate, affordable family-friendly living, amenities, recreational activities, and a variety of attractive places for people of all types to reside in. If you have any questions about the Surprise area, feel free to reach out to me. I'd love to answer any other questions that you may have. Now, let's talk about the cons of living in Surprise, Arizona. Traffic. Due to people relocating here to Surprise and some of the surrounding cities, traffic has become a lot worse, especially during work hours. So if you are commuting from Surprise into just say like the Phoenix area or downtown area, that can be anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour with traffic. And this could be make your day a little bit longer having to commute back and forth. Also in Surprise, there's limited public transportation offered. So having a car living in Surprise is definitely going to be a necessity, especially if you're commuting out of Surprise on a daily basis. Number 2, extreme heat, summer heat. Again, our temperatures are sometimes over 110 degrees during the summer. So you're going to be running that electric bill. It may cause your electric bills to be a little bit higher, which makes your bills and your cost of living during the summer to be a little bit higher, just as many of the other surrounding cities. So if you're not used to the area of Surprise or some of the other surrounding cities, just keep in mind that we do have extreme summer temperatures that are a lot higher than some of the other cities that you may be used to. So you got to take into account the higher electric bills. If you're commuting without AC in your car, or if you are using some type of outside public transportation, or just being outside walking or whatever the case may be, you have to keep in mind that for certain parts of the year it is over 110 degrees and the hot weather can be even more exhausting. Limited nightlife and entertainment. So Surprise is more of a quiet, friendly, family-friendly atmosphere. There's fewer options for nightlife, dining, cultural events. Like if you're going to a major game, or if you're going to a major concert or some upscale events, you may have to travel out of Surprise to like Glendale or Phoenix or something like that if you want to get to some of those bigger activities. If you're just looking for a smaller place to kind of a bar or a restaurant that you can go dine in, Surprise does offer plenty of those, but for some of the bigger events, you're going to have to travel into Phoenix or Glendale to be able to take part in those events. Surprise is growing and still developing, so a lot of areas in Surprise are still building and they're still becoming their own. So you may have to travel outside of Surprise compared to if you stayed in one of the other surrounding cities. Surprise has fewer large employers and professional opportunities. So you definitely want to have to drive out of Surprise if you want to work with a large company, or for certain jobs you're going to have to go out of Surprise and commute to work outside of Surprise to be able to work those positions. The retail stores, the dining facilities, they're still improving. Some of the residents around the Surprise area still feels like Surprise lacks some of the choices they may have for shopping or for eating compared to some of the other surrounding cities, and that's because Surprise is still growing. I will say Surprise has gotten one of the largest Targets in Arizona, so if you like to shop at Target, the Target just opened in Surprise, and it's the largest Target in Arizona. So as you can see, they are bringing stuff to Surprise. It's just taking time for it to grow overall. Right now, Surprise is a beautiful city, so I can imagine that once it's done, it's going to be great. It's going to be like some of the other surrounding cities, and it's going to have everything you need without even having to leave the Surprise area. The education quality in Surprise, it varies. Surprise is home of the Desert Unified School District. Some of the schools in that district are ranked really, really high, and some are ranked lower performing. So depending on where you live in the Surprise area, or if you don't want to commute to take your children to school, you may find that some of the schools in Surprise are really, really great, and some of the schools in Surprise are lower performing. So when you're looking into school choices for your children or different neighborhoods to relocate to in Surprise, if school is something that you want to consider, you definitely want to check out what schools are in those neighborhoods, unless you plan on commuting your child back and forth to school. The next con for Surprise is going to be the desert wildlife and the dust. If you're not used to the dust by being in the desert, you're definitely going to encounter more dust. If you have allergies, seasonal allergies, respiratory issues, or anything like that, the dust may be kind of hard for you to get used to, or you may have to adapt to, have to see how your body adapts to all the dust around. Also, by living in the desert, you're going to encounter more wildlife, whether it's snakes, scorpions, any of the, stuff that you would find in the desert, or coyotes. Not saying you're going to run into it in every neighborhood, but just by living in the desert and being closer to the mountains and the desert, you're going to run into that stuff sometime. Whether it's, like I said, snakes, scorpions, coyotes. You may see them at a distance, depending on where you live or what your home is around, whether it's your backyard is facing the mountains or there's no homes behind you. You may encounter some of that stuff. Again, with all the communities coming up and all the neighborhoods, you do have a choice to what you're around and what your home faces or what your home backs to. So if you're concerned about that stuff, that's something you definitely want to consider when picking your home in the Surprise neighborhoods. During monsoon season, Surprise does have dust storms. Again, it could affect your allergies. And if you're driving, also the visibility around, if you're driving and there's a dust storm during monsoon season, Surprise and some of the other cities all will encounter different dust storms, especially during monsoon season. You may encounter a dust storm where you have to pull over, or it may be hard for you to see while you're driving. I guess that's part of living in the desert. I've encountered it a couple times. It isn't anything that made me want to move or relocate. I think the desert, living out here in Arizona, Surprise, Phoenix, other surrounding areas, just the dust storms and the monsoon season that we have to get to or get through is definitely not worth me packing up and moving. So this is just one thing that you want to take into consideration if you're not used to all the dust and dirt, that monsoon season and dust storms may be a thing that you have to learn to deal with, or that you may come in encounter with when you're living in the Surprise area or some of the other surrounding cities. Cultural diversity is another con that you may encounter in Surprise. Surprise lacks cultural diversity or limited access to international communities and restaurants, cuisine. You may not see as many here in Surprise as you would see in like some of the other surrounding cities in Phoenix. Again, Surprise isn't so far to where you can't drive to some of those things if that's something you want to be a part of or take part in. But just keep in mind, while Surprise is still, building and coming, some of that stuff out here is very limited. Overall, relocating to Surprise, Arizona can be a rewarding decision for anybody seeking, a quiet, family-friendly atmosphere and a community that has affordable housing, plenty of sunshine, plenty of outdoor activities, and a strong sense of safety. The city does lack, again, some of the urban incitement, diversity, some of the jobs, but those opportunities, again, are found nearby in some of the other Phoenix cities that you can, easily get to if you do have a vehicle. So it doesn't take it completely out for you. It just, you may be something that you have to travel to. If you value living in a suburban community that's safe, year-round sunshine, and a city that's continuing to grow, then Surprise is definitely a city that you will want to consider, despite some of the challenges that I discussed. If you have any questions about the Surprise area or any of the surrounding cities, please feel free to reach out to me. I definitely want to make your relocation as smooth as possible.